Hello, everybody, and welcome back to a new video after a long break. Today, discussing the correct opinion and the correct take on Kanye West. Now, I'm going to be calling him Kanye because the new Ye name is gay. And also, I want to tell you guys that I am a Kanye fan. I'll preface it with that. I am a big fan. He's a top 5 rapper of all time, in my opinion. He has several great albums. I'm a huge fan. Okay, I also liked him. I still like him even. But his optics are just fucking terrible. So I just got to discuss this. And a lot of people are giving him garbage from the left, obviously, because they disagree with what he's saying. I'm saying it as somebody who agrees with a lot of what he's saying, and also saying, like, dude, shut the fuck up, because he's ruining it for the rest of us on the right. And that's the basic criticism that people on the right wing have, okay? And you can talk trash about Ben Shapiro, but he is kind of right that it is a bad look for him to be speaking that, even if Ben himself is being disingenuous about, oh my god, he's so anti, who cares? Anyways, I just want to be detailed and thorough about how I think that he is doing the wrong thing, and that is kind of him being a maniac and him kind of being bipolar, which he admits to in the Ye album in 2018. Of course, he thinks it's his superpower, right? That he is a superhero because he's bipolar and it helps him do whatever the hell he wants. And it's bit him in the ass, okay? And the thing is that the guy has a lot of clout. You would think, okay, well, if he's going to say anything at all, well, let it be positive for the right wing. And so far, it's not been. And a lot of people will say, well, no, he's talking about the JQ. That must mean that he's doing something good. And the truth is that he really isn't. Sure, yeah, no, he's revealing certain truths, but the people that are listening to that are people that are already in agreement with him. Why? If I talk to my friends that aren't political, all they know about Kanye is him saying, I like Hitler, that the Nazis didn't do the something something. You know what I mean, right? I'm trying to not trigger the algorithm, but the point being is that he the clips you see of him on Alex Jones are all the ones where he sounds retarded, and then they don't leave in the part where, let's say, Nick Fuentes talks about something actually articulate about how Ari Emanuel's related to the guy who was chief of staff for Obama and how that could be a problem, or how most CEOs are Jewish and how he disagrees with that being the consensus in America. But no, it gives you the the sensationalist TikTok of Kanye ranting for like 20 seconds about how he likes Hitler, and then Alex Jones trying to save him, and it just generally doesn't work, which is why it's an issue, because the normies aren't seeing the red pills on anything. They're just seeing Kanye spurt out about liking Hitler. And saying you like Hitler is like saying you like little kids, right? More or less politically. And so for that to be what people are coming away with is just not working out for the right wing in general. And let's get into this Mar-a-Lago stuff a little bit, okay? And I could have reported on this earlier, but I didn't feel like it, and I didn't really have the opportunity because of school. But basically, I'll give you a quick rendition. And what had happened was, we're not sure how, but Milo Yiannopoulos, who's been washed for years, he got kicked out of the conservative movement, fired from Breitbart over him defending pedophilia and pederasty, and he was saying how when he got molested, I think when he was 13 by his priest or something, that he enjoyed it, and he was being very sick and perverted about that. And then he was defending like 13-year-olds getting with 28-year-olds, also gay by the way, so it's like doubly. Anyway, the point being is that the guy is completely a reprobate in my opinion. And then the people that were trying to posit that he's a new conservative were saying, well, he's a born again Catholic, oh my god, he's a Christian, he's not gay anymore. It's like, okay, so you got dicked down like 2,000 times by black dudes, and you married a black guy, by the way, and you're going to say that you're not gay anymore. You're 40 years old and now you're not gay. I doubt it. I sincerely doubt that. And I was right. Secondly, so Milo apparently gets with Kanye by the grace of God, or Satan in that case, and you are I don't know who the interloping connection there was. The note may have been Candace Owens, but I'm not sure. Anyway, by the end of the day, you had Kanye with Milo. Milo gasses him up, obviously. Kanye, with an enormous ego, wants to run for president in 2024. And that's not the craziest thing in the world. Obviously, we saw him do that a couple of years ago. Clearly, he only got like 60,000 votes. And he didn't get on the ballot in the majority of the states anyway. So, anyways, the point being is that Kanye underperformed what he had expected last time. He really half-assed it. And the one rally that he did have was him crying. So, and again, that was not optical, because even if you are trying to convey real emotion, if you are a man trying to govern the country, you shouldn't cry in front of people under any circumstance, really. So, anyways, Milo gasses him up. Obviously, they're in LA in the studio, right? And I guess Milo. Now here's where the conspiracy stuff starts to go in, right? So Milo then tries to get Nick Fuentes on board, And I don't know if he did that as a favor because Nick idolizes Kanye or because he had some nefarious thing that he wanted to do in regards to sabotaging Trump. But we also know that Milo resented the establishment and even the MAGA people because he was canceled in 2017, I believe, over the pederasty stuff, which he should have been. And to say that it's Trump's fault that he got canceled is fucking ridiculous because he should have never defended what he did, and it was just really disgusting. And the point being is that obviously Kanye was not knowing of that. Kanye, as we will see later, has no idea about politics really. So he just doesn't know about Milo. He probably just knew vaguely that like, oh, Milo's a Trump guy. Okay, well, whatever. And so it turns out that Milo gets into that campaign, and Nick gets in there too. And apparently, they go to Mar-a-Lago together. Now, Kanye had I think he scheduled something in October or September, a one-on-one dinner with Trump. And apparently in Mar-a-Lago, if you remember, Kanye had the White Lives Matter shirt or something, and then he went on Tucker, and then he started talking about the Jews. And then after that, Trump was like, okay, we need to move back the dinner to November or something. So he was trying to like delay the crisis that would have been the optics cancer that is Kanye nowadays. And so then Kanye goes with Trump eventually. And the problem being is that he gets picked up at the airport by Karen Jorno, who's like this campaign advisor for Trump like 6 years ago. Nobody knows about her, but apparently the people that are in the Trump campaign vaguely knew of her. So basically, he used her to get in, and so then the guards obviously because the left are being ridiculous and they're like, oh well, how doesn't Trump know about Nick Fuentes? And it's like most of the people that said like how didn't Trump know about Nick Fuentes didn't know who Nick Fuentes was either. So like shut the fuck up, you leftists. Anyway, the point being is that so Nick gets in because nobody knows who he is until after. Because he's not relevant enough for people to know who he is, and he might have been banned from Mar-a-Lago, but nobody cared enough to know because obviously you see like this little, like this really small guy, and is like Nicholas Fuentes, probably not a skinhead, right? He's a Mexican, so they let him in, and apparently, from what we can read, you see that he goes into the what was it, the Mar-a-Lago diner? I don't know what you call it. Anyway, so they eat together, and then so no, so it's Kanye and Trump, and then Trump's like, hey, well, you can bring your friends if I don't want to be a dick, right? So he's being nice, he's nice to a fault. Trump, great guy, right? He takes them in, he seats them down, and apparently, there it's him, Kanye, Karen. I don't know if Milo was there. I don't think Milo was there. And then you had Karen Jorno, right? Oh, and you had Jamal Apoor or something. He was like this engineer, completely unrelated. It doesn't matter who he is. And so they're eating with Kanye and Trump, and apparently throughout the dinner, Kanye spurgs out at Trump about how he wants him to be the vice president and whatnot. Real quick, I just wanted to provide you guys a little bit of like the liberal bullshit about this. Obviously they're using Nick Fuentes as a cudgel to beat Trump over with, and it's truly unfortunate. And Nick knew what he was doing. Nick, knowing that he's bad optics, will go and meet Trump, knowing it'll leak because obviously it fucking would. How would any meeting at Mar-a-Lago not get leaked? So obviously he goes in there uninvited, and he's so irrelevant to the point where the Trump people don't even know who he is, so they just let him in anyway. It's like if Gypsy Crusader got into Mar-a-Lago. It's not like Trump knew who Gypsy Crusader was, this unoptical wignat on Omegle from 2 years ago. We're talking about somebody who's not relevant enough to know unless you Google him, and maybe some stuff comes up, maybe it doesn't. The point being is that Nick Fuentes knew what he was doing. It's really unfortunate, but they sit with Trump, and apparently, Trump, or I guess I forget how, but somebody calls Trump and then doesn't, and then realize, and then fuck, I don't remember, but a lawyer calls no. I think Kanye texted the wrong Steven something on his contacts, and it was something about Trump, and like in a negative sense. And then that Steven that got the Kanye leak calls Trump during the dinner and says, "Okay, these guys are setting you up. This is fucked." And then Trump's like, "Oh, don't you have a plane to catch or something?" And then he more or less like tries to politely get rid of them ASAP. So he gets rid of them. Now the issue being in this case that he's obviously not in a capacity to ever um, to really kick them out forcefully because it is Kanye. But the point being is that during the dinner itself, Kanye was ranting about how not the Jews. Rare time he's not ranting about Jews. He's talking about how he wants to run for president and how Trump let down the January Sixers, which I guess is based. And then you have Nick Fuentes kissing Trump's ass, which is true. He's like, "Oh, Donald, you're the best president ever." And then when Trump's getting flattered, he's like, "Oh, wow, where'd you get this guy? He's so smart." And then so he's like telling Trump that he shouldn't go off of the teleprompter, which I agree. And then so then Kanye was like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you," and then Trump's like, he gets pissed off. He's yelling. He's like, "Nick, didn't you just tell me I'm the best president ever? Please tell Kanye he's not gonna win." It's a Nick stuck in between a rock and a hard place because he knows that he's lying to both guys. Because Nick knows damn well that Kanye won't win, and he knows damn well that Trump would beat Kanye. So he's like, "Oh my God, which master will I serve?" Because obviously, he had to, the way that he got into the Kanye circle was in part because Kanye coin is fucking tanking. First of all, and second of all, because Milo hooked him up. So it wasn't really through virtue of anything he did personally that got him in there. But now that he was in there, he had the opportunity to not sabotage Trump. If it were just Kanye and Trump, it would have hurt him less in the news. But apparently, because Nick went in there with Milo and Kanye to meet Trump, it hurt Trump even more. If you look at a lot of the criticism from the media and from the center right, from the Ben Shapiro types who are needed to win the election in 24 presumptively, it is because of Nick Fuentes in a large part, which means that he's a liability. And he knew that was going to happen. He's not a fucking idiot. He knows that he has a lot of negative press. Virtually any press on Nick Fuentes over the last several months has all been negative, really. And is that really his fault? Obviously, some of it. Oh my God, I can't speak. Some of it is, but a lot of the slanders against him are unfortunate. So maybe humble yourself, Nick, and say, okay, well, obviously that's not going to look good on Trump. So I'm going to go ahead and not go. But he decided to go either because he was nefarious and he was collaborating with Kanye to make Trump look bad so that Kanye in turn would have a vacuum to fill in the Republican Party, or maybe because Nick was just being selfish and he's like, oh, I want to meet Daddy Trump. In which case, okay, well, you got your wish, dipshit. And again, when he met Nick, it wasn't like, oh, America first. Oh, the show that gets less than 10K viewers on an obscure streaming platform nobody knows about in the mainstream. Wow, Nick, dude, you're so cool. I heard about you. No, it's like Nick Fuentes. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Oh, you're kind of smart. Okay. I'm very impressed with you now that you're kissing my ass, Nick. That's basically it, okay? And, the gripers are going to say, like, oh, well, Nick wasn't disavowed by Trump. It's like the only reason why Trump wouldn't disavow Nick is not because he likes him. It's only because he wants to be stubborn and he doesn't want to cut to the left. For example, did Trump like Richard Spencer? No, but did he denounce Richard Spencer? No. Did Trump like David Duke? No, but did he disavow him? Really? Not really. Why? Because he didn't want to give them any meat. That's the thing. He didn't want to give the left any fucking meat. That's it. He's just being stubborn. And it's not any virtue to Nick. It could be literally me, and he wouldn't disavow me just because he doesn't want to please the left. Okay, he's that stubborn about it, which I'm glad about. Okay, frankly, that's cool. Anyway, the point being is that Kanye does definitely hurt Trump in a way that is unforgivable, and then he has the fucking gall, the complete arrogance to go to the presumptive nominee and say, "I want you to be my vice president." It's like if a year ago I went up, or let's say 2 years ago, and I go up and say, "Hey Kanye, how about I fuck him and you watch in the corner?" And you know what? Actually, he might like that. So I'll take back the analogy. The whole point is that Kanye is being very disrespectful. It is the equivalent of like if you got a self-respecting Christian man, not Kanye in this case, and you said, "Hey, I want to smash your wife and I want you to look." Oh, you could be vice president, Trump. Like what? Who the fuck would even take that deal? I think if you said, "Okay, Trump, you could either not be president or you can have Kanye be president and you be vice," I don't think he'd take it. Why? Because obviously it's emasculating. Like what the fuck? And Kanye is seriously mentally ill if he actually thinks he could win. A guy who literally got less votes than fucking anybody on the ballot, okay? Rocky De La Fuente probably got more votes. Fucking Evan McMuffin, I don't know if he ran, but he could probably got more votes anyway. So Kanye did absolutely terrible, 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 terrible last election cycle. And so for him to assume that he has even a chance in hell is just highly presumptuous. And, a lot of the gripers were like, oh, we're going to push Trump on the right on the JQ. It's like, what? What? Think about it. Think about it. Kanye is going to push Trump to the right. And when Gavin McInnes, who's not even that far right, he's alt-right, right? He pushes Kanye and he's like, okay, well, would you ban gay marriage? And he's like, well, I mean, there's not that many gay marriages anyway. And then Gavin's like, it's in the Bible, right? And he's like, okay, well, I agree with the Bible. It's like, dude, did you not have an opinion, Kanye? Really? Really? Fucking idiot. And then the most important thing to me, which is of these two questions, immigration, he's like, okay, what would you do? Would you reinforce the wall? And then Kanye, obviously, like, no shit, build the wall. He's like, well, I guess we should cooperate with South America so we can have one America. Like, really? Literally, like the fucking George Bush platform? Not even the fucking Bill Clinton platform. Are you fucking nuts, dude? Have you learned? Oh, Trump isn't conservative enough. Me, Kanye, the same guy who wants to pardon the January 6th people, ban abortion, but doesn't give a shit about gay marriage or immigration. Make that make sense. He, oh my God. And again, you can understand his interest in politics is not because he actually cares. It's more or less, it has to do with whatever he feels he cares about. For instance, when he was talking about abortion in that rally in 2020 in South Carolina, I believe, he made the abortion thing about him, not because of other people for the most part. So it was about him, and he started crying about like almost killed my kid. It's like that's your fucking problem, dude. I don't care. And then so obviously he's just being cocked. And is Trump the best on the gay issue or the abortion thing? No, obviously not. But he's not saying he is. As compared to Kanye, he doesn't have the same ego. And again, Kanye, yes, you're debatably the best rapper of all time. You're a huge artist, a billionaire formerly. You had a hot wife at one point, not anymore. But obviously you had it going, and I liked you. Everybody liked you, and then you flipped out. Okay, whereas with Trump, sure, he's not at his prime, but he still has the vast majority of the people that liked him originally still in the camp, and he can still win in 24, which cannot be said of you. So, frankly, Donald Trump, who's more accomplished than Kanye, in my opinion, in the grand scheme of things, has more to be fucking egotistic about. Whereas Kanye, he's younger, he doesn't know as much, and he acts as if he does know. And you can tell that because when he was with Alex Jones, he would incoherently rant about like, oh, I like everybody, I'm a Christian, I like Hitler, we need to stop dissing the Nazis. And again, that's hilarious. And I don't think he's even necessarily wrong that we should stop incessantly. Oh my God, oh my, blah, blah. I don't care. Look, listen, the disagreement primarily comes with the fact that he's not articulate at all most of the time. He's not very lucid. And the problem being is that, he goes to these places with a fucking gimp mask on. So you can only assume he's on drugs and is trying to obscure from that fact. Because otherwise, why the hell does he have the gimp mask on? Like, it probably smells like shit in there, don't you think? Anyways, we're talking about a guy like Nick. And so Kanye will gerbil on about like 2 minutes worth of ranting, wigging at talking points, and then he'll be like, okay, pass it to Nick, or Nick, explain it, or Nick, do you agree? So that's what Nick is. He's just like the third intern. It was Milo, then it's Nick. Okay, and the point being is that he's going and he's saying like, blah 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 blah, and then he runs out of shit to say. He's like, fuck, fuck, fuck. What am I, Nick? And then Nick tries to take that. And he's like, I agree, Kanye. Anyways, blah, 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 blah. So Nick is just trying to do the retard translator. He's doing the Ebonics translator, and he's like, okay, look, listen, this guy is saying this, very retarded like, and so I'm gonna fix it. And Nick is good at that. The problem being is that that's your position, Nick. It's not, oh, call the shots of the campaign. It's, oh, maybe tell me who to interview with because I know nothing about Twitch. And Nick, can you translate my bullshit? That's it. And again, Nick, the type of person who, again, try to cancel or, was shitting on Spencer, the Charlottesville people, which for the record, I don't agree with these people, obviously. And they, rightfully so, he's like, oh, you guys are unoptical. You guys can't be talking about the Jews all the time. That's stupid. And then he goes on with fucking Kanye. And I like Hitler. Oh, the Nazis weren't bad or whatever. Hitler did. The Nazis did great things, including Hitler, especially Hitler. It's like, bro, that is the fucking opposite of what you've been pushing for years, Nick. But Nick goes with it, obviously, because this is the biggest career opportunity. And isn't that telling? Nick's biggest career opportunity up until this point is to be Kanye's fucking butt boy. And on top of that, to be Kanye's servant. And on top of all that, to be a part of a Kanye that's falling a fucking part at the seams. You could not ask for a bigger fall off if you fucking tried, dude. Nick, I mean, fucking Drake is laughing it up, bros. Pete Davidson, Skeet is loving it, bro. I mean, this is so true. The Yay A-logs of the last 15 years are loving this shit. Why? Because this is not, it could not get worse. If you were a full-blown MAGA nigga, it would have worked. Had he just worn the MAGA hat and had it not stay off, just kind of like John Doyle did, right? The MAGA hat stays on. And had he just done that, it would have worked out just fine. But instead, he fucks it up because he puts in the Nazi shit. And again, I'm not accusing Kanye of actually liking the Nazis. I just think that he doesn't know better and he's just trying to be contrarian. And if you're being contrarian and not being a fucking genius about it, then it's gonna bite you in the ass inevitably. Okay? And it's like, okay, is America First inevitable? Apparently not. What is truly inevitable though is Ye fucking things up because he's manic and he just cannot hold on to anything for more than a couple of weeks. Apparently, given the fact that he's made all these albums and then like not finished them, and the fact that he has these political opinions that aren't really informed, and then all of a sudden changing them on the drop of a hat, realistically, because he has a different emotion. And it's just truly unfortunate for people like me who are trying to kind of see what kind of benefit this guy has, and he just isn't. And I'll tell you why. So, for instance, when you're talking about somebody like Andrew Tate, for example, Andrew Tate in particular is he's optical, right? Andrew Tate is pushing people to the right because he's taking people that are left wing and unpolitical, and he's making them more masculine by virtue of him being a role model for these young guys. And he's not talking about the Nazis. And again, he's still supporting Kanye in a tacit way because he's a real nigga, but at the same time, he's not retarded like Kanye. And so again, we need more Andrew Tates. We don't need more Kanyes. And people will say, well, Kanye's being a Christian. It's like, first of all, Kanye can't even quote the Bible right. He reads the Bible on Alex Jones, and he's like, Ephesians slash chapter slash verse slash. That's not how you fucking say it, right? So I mean, he does. He's like, I'm a baby Christian, bro. You've been a baby Christian for years at this point. How do you not know how to read a Bible? It's clear that he's only into religion for the aesthetic of it and to virtue signal, and that's gay. I disavow that. That is very disingenuous of him to do. So I'm not going to give him credit for being a Christian when in reality he doesn't have these steadfast principles. And again, he's the guy in 2005 who tells Sway in the morning, right? The Shade 45 host, and he's like, we got to stop hating on gays. In 2005 as a rapper, bro. What? What? And then he gets asked, you're the Christian candidate supposedly. Okay, what about gay marriage? Really? And then on immigration, he doesn't even know what he's talking about. Okay, let's get fucking serious for a second, okay? Okay, as of November 4th, we'll just go through some of these tweets and I'll explain why this is pretty stupid. Um, okay, no, actually, we're gonna start over here in the middle. Okay, enough already. I done gave this man his flowers multiple times. Let's really see who our real ops are in this game. Imagine all the rappers on the same side and everybody cleaning up each other's contracts. It's Kingdom Time. Love Drake. Hashtag love speech. Again, a guy who hated Drake for years and he's saying love speech. Okay, so again, he's with the I love everybody. I love Drake. No, you don't. I love Hitler. I don't think you care. I love blah blah blah. No, you don't. I want to see him say I love Pete Davidson. He won't say that because he knows he's full of shit. Then he says, I'm starting to think that anti-Semitic means rigor. Okay, I probably shouldn't say that, so we'll just anyway. The point being, yeah, so pretty unoptical. Okay, let's go to number 2. Okay. Shalom. That's a troll tweet, whatever. Um, First time in Mar-a-Lago, rain in traffic. Can't believe I kept Trump waiting and I had jeans. Yikes. What you guys think his response going to be when I asked him to be my running mate in 24? Again, so this was before the news even covered it. He tweets out preempting all of the mainstream articles shitting on Trump. He's announcing it first, okay? So to say that, Nick didn't know it was going to be public that he was going to meet Trump. Yes, he did. He was in the fucking room when Ye did this, or at least he didn't reprimand Ye to delete it. Anyway, burp. All right, so here he goes, right? He's making Trump wait, which, first of all, come on. Second of all, I had jeans on to meet Trump. Again, disrespectful. Who the fuck do you think you are, bastard? Really? Anyway, let's see. And then here, Kanye showing letter to the J6 prisoners. Really? Like you're gonna say you care about the J6 prisoners, but you don't have a platform on immigration, gay marriage, a lot of these fundamental pillars of our politics, really. And then think about it, Nick. I think Kanye cares more about the J6ers than Nick Fuentes does, frankly. If you look at some of the people that have been hating on Nick, he'll tell them to go rot in hell and in prison because they don't like Nick or something, and they're J6 people. So I don't know. Anyway, so let's see here. Oh, right here, he's retweeting somebody saying that JP Morgan Chase and Deutsche Bank have been accused of profiting and facilitating from sexual abuse of young women. And again, that might be true. I don't know anything about this. I haven't seen this before. But then again, Balenciaga, who Ye is still highly approving of, probably because he's desperate for money and contracts at this point, because he got canceled from Adidas and Gap. He apparently is supporting Balenciaga, despite knowing the fact that they are promoting the softcore child stuff. I don't want to trigger the algorithm, but the point being is that, they're obviously into some weird stuff. And then Ye's defense of it is like, oh, no, they love Christ, or I love them. Stop hating on them. And, I know some of the people there, therefore the pedophiles must not exist. It's like, well, I don't think it works that way. So you're probably wrong, Kanye. Then here, Shapiro starvingly accepts $100,000 from one of my opponents and tries to trash me. Okay. And that is a Ron DeSantis thing, okay? So, anyways, you can tell that it was fucking Milo or somebody else who tweeted this because Ye has never acknowledged Ben Shapiro ever before. First of all, I'm pretty sure. Second of all, when have you ever heard Kanye say starvingly before? Right? Starvingly. What black guy has ever said starvingly? Okay. And then he talks about DeSantis. Now, when Ye has been asked about DeSantis like 3 to 5 times from what I remember over the last like several months, he pretends like he doesn't know who DeSantis is, which is pretty funny. But the point being is like, why would he text something about DeSantis on Twitter when he doesn't even know who he is, according to himself? So I mean, whoever's trying to pretend like they're Kanye on his Twitter, they're not doing a good enough job. So how about Milo lays off the coke because he doesn't know what he's doing when he's on high, and I'm glad that he's banned from the campaign because clearly this was not a good look. Anyway, let's see. As much as Ben and I disagree, I pray he joins me in saving our country. You know what they say, love your Enna. I mean, spelling is not my core competency. When I'm sleepy, if Nick keeps tweeting from my account, the only platform I'll have left is Truth Social. Okay, this was not Kanye. This was obviously Milo, right? This was obviously Milo, and a lot of people will say, well, it says that Nick's tweeting from his thing, and it isn't. It isn't really true. Why? Well, listen, Milo is a snake. Milo is just trying to make it known to the public that Nick was tweeting just so that they get their ire away from him towards Nick. That isn't the case at all. It was definitely Milo. I know that. Listen, like here, I pray that he joins me in saving our country. What a fucking virtue signal. No, you don't. You don't care. And then the other thing is my Enna, I mean da 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 really? That's not funny at all, first of all. And when would Kanye ever say that line? And secondly, spelling is not my core competency. When has Kanye ever said fucking competency? Only a white guy has ever said that, probably. Seriously? Anyways. Alright. Okay. I want I love the First Amendment, long live VA. I pray. Why is he saying long live myself? It definitely seems like it's Milo tweeting that. And then obviously Nick Fuentes on the Alex Jones show retweets himself or whatever. And what's funny to this is that, you know, Kanye has tens of millions of followers on Twitter, and Nick tweets out his own shit, and his following hardly went up at all. His Telegram has gone up less than 20%. His show, he doesn't do regularly, so you can't really tell. And Cozy on and of it on its own is getting less views than it did a month before. So again, he's trying to grift off of No Jumper. Didn't work. Tried to grift off of Sneeko. That didn't do shit. He's trying to grift off of Jadeon. It didn't work. He tried to grift off of, or by grift I mean latch on to Kanye. He tweets himself on fucking Kanye West. You would think millions of people have seen the tweet. Even 1% of them would have clicked on Cozy. And turns out not even a tenth of a percent of them actually clicked on. You might as well just be a fucking midget asking out girls at the mall. Like, you have a better chance of that working than fucking being Nick and promoting your shit on the internet, because clearly it's all cancerous. It's not working. He's not expanding. Oh my god. And the Nick people might say, well, oh, look at the Google Trends. And on the Google Trends, if you pay attention, it's all negative press. You Google Nick. If you're a normie, dude, if you're a normie con, if you're a college Republican who's 20 years old and you know nothing about America First, and you look up, okay, Trump, Mar-a-Lago, Nick Fuentes, and you look it up, it's all negative. It's all negative. It's all negative. It's all negative. So unless you're already on 4chan, unless you're already in America First or something, there's no reason as to why you would ever join it, right? Because it's all negative coverage. That's why Nick isn't growing. Yeah, I know people know about him, but you can say the same thing about Spencer around Charlottesville. Clearly, Spencer was really famous back then, but it was all negative fucking coverage. So was David Duke. So let's get fucking real here. Jeez. Anyway, okay. Also, look at this. Investigate the civil rights and due process violations of the J6 political prisoners. Okay, listen. Do you think Kanye actually knows anything about civil rights, like in particular, and due process violations? Like, if you were to put a gun to his head and say, make a 2-page essay on why so and so and so and so, did you actually fathom he can pull something off that would get a B or higher at the high school level? I'm not sure. It's clear that Kanye obviously is really smart in regards to maybe fashion, and that is really stretching it, because I don't think his fashion is good for the most part. It's like really gross actually. But you could say like, okay, he has a knack for that. He has a knack for music, and I'll completely concede on that. But besides that, I mean, does he do anything well? Is he a good actor, or, I mean, really, come on, is he good at being a Bible thumper? Not really. So let's go on to the last page of his tweets. Obviously, Elon banned him. On principle, he shouldn't have been banned, but also it was kind of funny because he was personally antagonizing Elon, trying to emasculate him on Twitter, calling his bluff on banning him, and then he did get banned after being warned like 2 times, and he's gonna bitch about it later. Like, really? So, again, he has the gall to go to Mar-a-Lago, Trump's property, and be like, hey, Trump, instead of you getting the nomination you deserve that you've been warranting of for years, what if you just give me it, and then I'll make you my vice president, since I'm such a nice guy. So he has the gall to do that. He also has the gall to sneak in Nick Fuentes, knowing that Trump wouldn't have let him in otherwise, and then play it off as if Nick is his intern, which is just really disingenuous. And then you're looking at somebody like Kanye, and then you're seeing somebody who's also crazy, and he has the gall to go up to Twitter, and in this case, text Elon Musk and post all this unoptical shit, and then post an unflattering image of Elon, and then basically be like, "Hey, why'd you ban me, bro?" It's like, actually, I know why. I know why. Okay. Anyway, let's see this. A prayer for world peace. So that's another virtue signal. Okay. The guy clearly does not read the Bible enough, and I don't read it either, but I'm not pretending to. Okay. Also, he had Alex Jones stress laughing. You know how crazy that is. And that's a retweet. That's not a good look. People, normies hate Alex Jones. If anything, they find him amusing at best. But people generally don't like Alex Jones. So if you're conveying the simple, like, 2 sentence summary of the InfoWars, you're saying, okay, he says he likes Hitler and he made Alex Jones of all people uncomfortable. That's not a fucking good look. It's like if you were to have an interview with Jeffrey Epstein and it's like so and so made Jeffrey Epstein look reasonable. It's like how the guy who's interviewing Jeffrey Epstein fucking lost then. That's not the takeaway you're supposed to have in this case. Oh, he made Alex Jones look bad. That's your fucking bad. That's horrible. What? Um Ye said he loved everybody, even Nazis, because they invented the microphones he used. Is that even true? Um Also, let me see. Also, Alex Jones during the mid break or whatever they had the halftime on the Alex Jones podcast. They were showing how Balenciaga was pedophilic and whatnot, and I agree with that. Obviously, what they're doing is disgusting, and that was when Kanye was there defending Balenciaga. Isn't that kind of ironic, right? Kind of funny, but yeah, no. Why? So Kanye again, he's trying to be this moral arbiter of everything, but meanwhile he's getting engaged to like an Instagram whore. I don't think that's very Christian of you, and then that's assuming he's not banging her before marriage, which I really don't care about. But again, that in principle, that is wrong for him to do. Then the other issue I have is that he's again like, oh, we need to be Christians, nigga. You married the biggest whore of the millennium, Kim Kardashian, okay? And then apparently he's leaking that Chris Paul, the CP3 from the Suns, he slept with his wife. Like, is that supposed to be an own on her or on you because she was married to you when that happened? You fucking idiot. Like that makes you the cuck if you knew about that and you didn't say anything for a while. That's kind of weird. And then he's like, "Oh, I caught them together." It's like, bro, then why didn't you do anything, you fucking pussy? Come on, what a fucking idiot. So that was horrible. So again, that's just impulsive. If my wife cucked me with Chris Paul, I would do one of three things. I would either try to confront him right there, in which case he is like a foot taller than you probably, so maybe that wouldn't work. I don't know how tall Chris Paul is, but he's definitely taller than Kanye. Or I don't know, maybe get a security guard to go after him, or expose him on the spot, divorce Kim right there. But what you don't do is wait until like the divorce, get cucked by Pete Davidson, get caught saying that you're seething about his 10-inch white cock, which is just really really weird to say. Um, so he's seething and molding about the kosher dick. Then he's also talking about how Chris Paul cocked him after the fact. Like, okay, well, he pretended like it didn't happen for a long time. I wonder who else hit besides him. Interesting. Anyways, okay. And then during the Alex Jones show, you had Milo. You had no, you had Laura Loomer opportunistically call in, and automatically Kanye has to defend Milo because so basically what Milo can do is he's very persuasive and he's articulate and whatnot, but besides that he doesn't really add anything, and that is basically the issue with him. So he flatters Kanye likes him. They're both kind of fruity, fashion sense, and they talk in a very particular way with Milo, and he's got the fake dentures. It's really weird. Anyway, the point being is that Milo is this sort of enigma, and he fascinates Kanye. So Kanye wants to defend him, and then clearly he was on the outs by then, and Laura Loomer trying to poach him, and it did work. And I think I saw RPG TV trying to expose Milo because apparently on his Telegram he was saying how Kanye is gay and that he wants to kill him for that and whatnot. So Milo had all these weird feelings about Kanye. Kanye clearly saw that because then he fired him from the campaign. So anyway, look at this. God loves Balenciaga. Love is the answer. Jesus is the answer. Praying for all those innocent artists and beautiful humans who make clothing that had nothing to do with the ads. People's grandmothers worked there for Christ's sake. Again, a complete cop out, right? God loves Balenciaga. Why do you have to bring God into this, right? When somebody defends a shitty company, do they ever say God loves Marlboro? God loves Pornhub? Like really, really? That's ridiculous to say. First of all, like I don't know if that's sacrilegious or blasphemy. I don't remember, but the point being is that whatever terminology it falls under, that is really fucked up for him to do. And then Jesus, Jesus is the answer. It's like as if we didn't know that, right? Praying for all the innocent people. Again, if it weren't full of scumbags, why would you have to pray for the specific group of people that are not scumbags in there, right? I mean, it's kind of evident that the company's corrupt. Anyway, people's grandmothers work there. You could say that about literally everything. What company that has thousands of employees does not have grandmothers working in there? So I mean, what is your point? Like, could they not get jobs somewhere else? I'm pretty sure if you work at Balenciaga, you can work at the fucking Gap, right? So to say, oh no, grandma, the one grandma out of like the 2,000 gay fucking middle aged men that are doing all these pedophilic things, in regards to the ads. Oh no, these guys, we got to keep their jobs for the sake of the grandmother. It's like I don't think that really matters, does it? So come on, can we get real, please? All right, I'm back. Okay, I'm gonna wrap this up soon. Okay, I'm. The thing is that I have to record my videos when nobody's home because obviously I want to be able to be loud. So we're gonna wrap it up quick, but let's go through this right quick. Remove any and all forms of pornography from Twitter and every platform. Pornography is the product of pedophilia. I think that's misspelled. When grown men look at porn, they are watching someone's daughter relive trauma for money. Again, first of all, let's assume I agree with this, which I kind of do. But secondly, why do you have to involve the pedophilia thing? Okay, and then again, you're defending Balenciaga, which was just accused of pedophilia, and then you're going back and saying, "Oh, we should ban all porn." What do you think the fucking Balenciaga people were involved in? You dipshit. Come on, like, is he that stupid? Then secondly, we need to ban all forms of porn. How about you say that to fucking Ray J and Kim, dipshit? Really? Your girl a supermodel, and what was the line from Click? My girl superstar from a home movie. That a home movie, a porn, bro. Really? That's how your wife got famous. Every hundreds of millions of men have seen your wife get piped down, dude. Anyway, when grown men look at porn, they're committing pedophilia. Like, what? What? So if okay, so if a 20-year-old watches a 20-year-old have sex, that somehow has to do with pedophilia. Even if the girl was molested, how does that have to do with the guy that's watching it? And how does the girl getting molested have to do with the video itself, right? If it's two consenting adults, what does it have to do with pedophilia? I don't get it. And again, that's Kanye being a liberal, okay? Because that's how liberals rationalize shit. When liberals try to take a stand on anything that's social, instead of talking about gayness or fornication or something a conservative would say, he's talking about pedophilia. He's justifying it. So he's trying to use pedophilia as a cudgel to beat other things. It's like, bro, I know there's more than one sin here, but he's just resorting to pedophilia. And again, that's all ironic given the fact that fucking Balenciaga is involved in what it is, and he's defending it. And then here, the use of porn destroyed my family, but Jesus will heal everything. Well, isn't that kind of accusatory? Think about it. He's saying that people that watch porn are supporting pedophilia, and yet everybody in his family used porn. Kind of sus, Kanye. Kind of weird, bro. I think that you're like by your own logic, you're a pedo, right? I mean, come on, like, dude, really. Anyway, I stand by Balenciaga and denounce all witch hunts and cancel culture. Jesus is king. Ending trafficking doesn't start or end with a fashion campaign, for Christ's sake. What a fucking sacrilegious little bitch, bro. Really? How many times does he invoke God in all these tweets, man? That is so messed up. You think he really stands for Balenciaga? Think about it. I stand by Balenciaga. And then he tries to use the MAGA, like, oh, I cancel culture. It's like, bro, cancel culture is okay when we're canceling the fucking pedo stuff. And you're gonna be like, oh, well, oh, human trafficking won't end if we stop Balenciaga, as if like that. Really, it's like if I said, don't deport these MS-13 guys. It's illegal immigration won't end if you deport these dozen cartel members. I think that it's a good start though. You fucking idiot. Really, never turn our backs, Denma and the Balenciaga family for life. Cancel culture. Jesus, please heal. Again, cop out. Oh, Jesus will fix it. Really? How about we do what we can as humans to stop whatever they're doing, and then Jesus can do whatever we can't. Okay, how about that? But no, how about we just hope to God that he just like really what is the fix here? Okay, there's no fix. Kanye doesn't want to fix it. Um. Anyway, con- um. then he puts a swastika in the Star of David, which is just really stupid of him to do. That's just really like again, what are you trying to prove? And again, I'm not saying like, oh, it's an incitement of violence, you should be banned. No, but again, he personally insulted the owner of the fucking business, and then to say, oh wow, oh I flipped you off, and now you're kicking me off of the fucking business. Wow, it's like, are you surprised? Let's break one last window before we get out of here. I caught this guy with Kim. Good night. Again, how was that a good thing? If my wife cheated on me and I didn't, and like I would just not say anything. Like assuming I were a cuck, I would not say anything. But he cucked and also said that. That just makes him doubly as bad. So that's just a horrible look, dude. So that is what it is, guys. All right. So that is it. I'll pretty much wrap it up there. You guys got my take right there. So I hope everybody enjoyed that video. Obviously he has a huge platform and he's liable to get banned off of more stuff, which I really disavow. Obviously, I don't want him to get banned. So I hope that everybody I believe in free speech, but at the same time, he's been a horrible influence. His optics are horrendous, and I hope he gets it together and he gets rid of the Vipers in his campaign because they do not have his best interest at heart, in my opinion. Anyways, guys, thank you for everything that you've done for the channel. Like, comment, and subscribe. Comment down below, in particular, what you want to see next and what you think about my video and the takes within it.